Hey guys, so welcome to the second edition of the linear equations lecture. Okay, so let's have a look at the first question. It says two small pitchers and one large pitcher can hold 8 cups of water. One large pitcher minus one small pitcher constitutes of 2 cups of water. So how many cups of water can each pitcher hold? So once again guys, when it comes to linear equations, you need to be aware that we need to be working with letters. So let's call the small pitchers, small pitchers can be S. The large ones, yep, you guessed it, can be L. So it says two small pitchers, so 2 times S, which is simply 2S, and one large pitcher can hold 8 cups of water. So 2S plus 1L, which is just L, is equal to 8. So that's one equation right there. The next equation is one large pitcher minus one small pitcher constitutes or means constitutes means holds 2 cups of water. So L minus S is equal to 2. Now this is our equation 2. Now guys, this is the use of simultaneous equations. So let me just write them on top of each other so it's a little bit more easy to read. So we have L plus 2S equals to 8, and we have L minus S equals to 2. Now you may have noticed I've swapped the L and the 2S around when I wrote them down here, because this way the L's are now lined up and so are the S's. So let's take equation 1 and minus it from equation 2. So this is the operation that we are doing, 1 minus 2. So doing a takeaway right there, so we have L minus L, which gives us 0. Then we have 2S minus S, which is 2S plus S, gives me 3S, equals 8 minus 2, which is 6. So this gives me 3S is equal to 6. So S is equal to 2. So the small pitcher can hold 2 cups of water. And then substituting that into any of those other ones, so we have L minus S equals 2. So substituting 2 into this equation here, so we have L minus 2 equals 2. Then we have minus 2 going to the other side as a plus. So we have L equals 2 plus 2, which is equal to 4. So the large pitcher holds 4 cups of water, while the small pitcher holds 2 cups of water. Alrighty, moving to the next question. Okay, so this particular question says, a test has 20 questions worth 100 points. Now the test consists of true and false questions worth 3 points each, and multiple choice questions worth 11 points each. How many multiple choice questions are there on the test? Okay, so there is a fair bit of information here, guys, so let's just quickly write them out. So we have total points of 100. Two types of questions. We have the true and false. Let's designate the true and false questions as X, okay? And then we have multiple choice questions. So MCQ, let's call it MCQ. Multiple choice questions can be the letter Y, okay? So true and false is X, multiple choice questions are Y. And for one true and false question, you get 3 points. You get 3 points. And for one multiple choice question, you get 11 points. So 3 times X, which is the number of points you can possibly get using the true and false questions, plus 11 times Y, which is the number of points you can get using the multiple choice questions, have to equal the total of 100. So writing this out, we have 3x plus 11y equals 100. And the other part, or the other equation, is simply the number of true and false questions plus the number of multiple choice questions is equal to 20. Because the other part of the question said a test has 20 questions. So again, really important part. So again, guys, we're down to some simple simultaneous equations. So we're going to use the process of elimination here again. Now, as you can see, the coefficients in front of the letters are different. This one's 1, this one's 1, while those are 3 and 11. So if I was to multiply this equation by 3, this would turn it into 3x plus 3y equals 60. Now, if I was, and let's call it equation 3. Now, if I was to do equation 1 minus equation 2, this would be 3x minus 3x, so x's get cancelled out, 11y minus 3y, giving me 8y, and then 100 minus 60, which gives me 40. So y is equal to 40 divided by 8, which gives me 5. And then coming up here, so we have x plus y is equal to 20. Now, if y becomes 5, x is simply 20, take away 5, which is 15. So there are 15 questions for true and false, and there are 5 questions for multiple choice. And we can even test this out. So we have 15 times 3, which is the number of points you can get with true and false, so give me 45, plus 11 times 5, which is the number of points you can get through the multiple choice questions, giving me 55. And as we know, 45 plus 55 definitely gives us 100 points. Okay, let's move to the next question now. Alright, so this particular question says, Margie is responsible for buying a week's supply of food and medication for the dogs and cats at a local shelter. The food and medication for each dog costs twice as much as those supplies for a cat. She needs to feed 164 cats and 24 dogs. Her budget is $4,240. How much can Margie spend on each dog for food and medication? Okay, so again, guys, really important parts of the question. So in this one, let's just quickly underline the most important parts. So we have the food and medication for each dog costs twice as much as those supplies for a cat. She needs to feed 164 cats and 24 dogs. Her budget is $4,240. So let me just quickly write this out. So we have a budget, which equals 4,240. We have the number of dogs at 164. We have the number of cats at 24. Now, as it says, the amount of money that you spend on the dog is actually twice as much as that on the cat. Now, dog can be D and cat can be C in this case. And the other part is there are 164 cats and 24 dogs. So 164 times C is the amount of money that you would spend on the cats, plus 24 times D, which is the amount of money you would spend on the dogs. And that has to equal to the total budget of 4,240. So writing this out properly, we have 164C plus 24D, which is equal to 4,240. So again, we have two equations here, guys. Now, we can, again, these are simultaneous equations. However, we can simply use the process of substitution. So substituting D equals 2C into this gives me 164C plus 24. The D gets replaced with 2C, because as it says, D is equal to 2C, which is equal to 4,240. 164C plus 24 times 2C is 48C, which is equal to 4240. 164 plus 48 gives me 212C, which is equal to 4240. Then C is equal to 4240 divided by 212, which gives me $20. And then I want to do the working out up here now, so just in this little corner here. So C is equal to $20. However, that's the amount of the money that she spends on the cats. The question asks for how much can she spend on the dogs. Now it says that the dogs cost twice as much as the cats. So pretty straightforward. Dogs would simply be 2 times $20, which is $40. So how much can Margie spend on each dog for food and medication? She can spend $40 per dog for the food and medication. So guys, that brings us to the end of the second lecture for linear equations. Hope that was helpful. Please make sure that you have got the worksheets that are attached. They will really help you cement some of these learnings that you've picked up in these couple of lectures. So I will see you in the very next lecture. Thank you, guys.